Try this, just once. Take a big breath in, right now, and hold it. Starting to feel that discomfort? That discomfort is proof. Proof that your body, in this exact moment, is measuring its own state, precisely, without asking you. You can't consciously stop your heart. You can't consciously stop your brain. But breathing you can stop, by will alone. And in the end, your body decides that's enough, before you do, and takes back over anyway. Breathing is the oldest doorway through which your body keeps confirming, over and over, that you're still alive. Hello, this is Dr. Yoshi. I'm a neuroscientist. For 25 years, I studied one question: how the brain rewires itself, how it adapts, how it recovers, even after real damage. And in all that time, the thing that kept humbling me wasn't the newest scan or the cleverest experiment. It was how often the ancients had already arrived, thousands of years early, with no instrument but their own breath. Let me show you what I mean, as a hypothesis in plain language, and then hand you the 5 seconds that open the door. Most people know breathwork and meditation are good for them. Very few can explain why they actually work. So it stays filed under, seems like a good idea, and the moment life gets busy, it's the first thing forgotten. Which is a quiet shame, because breathing was never just a wellness technique. It's the method humanity has used for thousands of years to find its way back to itself. And here's the cost of forgetting. Under pressure, your breathing narrows without your permission. Shallow, fast, high in the chest. You stop noticing it. You call the tightness that follows stress or a long day, and you assume it's just the price of the life you carry. It isn't. It's a door you've been holding shut. Ancient civilizations never treated breath as simple air moving in and out. In Indian yoga, it was prana, breath, and at the same time, the life force filling the entire universe. In China, qi, the vital force itself. In ancient Greece, pneuma. In Hebrew, ruach. Each of those languages used the exact same word for breath and for soul. In Genesis, there's a moment where God breathes the breath of life into the nostrils of a figure shaped from clay, and only then does it become a living human being. Even Japanese carries the trace. The character for breath, ish, is built from 2 parts, self and heart. Civilizations with no contact with one another, none whatsoever, all arrived independently at the same conclusion. Breath, life, and soul are inseparable. How did they land on that with such precision? The reason is almost embarrassingly simple. Thousands of years later, your lungs haven't changed. Your diaphragm hasn't changed. Your vagus nerve, your brainstem, none of it has changed. Same hardware. And if you observe the same hardware closely enough, you arrive at the same answer, in any century you like. The ancients weren't missing the instruments. They were carrying the instrument the whole time, inside their own bodies. And now, modern neuroscience is finally starting to confirm that intuition with actual numbers. In 2023, a team at Stanford, led by Andrew Huberman and David Spiegel, published a study in Cell Reports Medicine. Over 28 days, 114 participants compared several breathing techniques against mindfulness meditation. And the technique that produced the greatest improvement in mood and calm, greater than any other method they tested, was something called the physiological sigh. Now, I want to be careful here, the way I'd want someone to be careful with me. This is one study. 28 days, a modest group, self-reported mood. It points, it doesn't prove. But it points at something the body has been doing on its own since long before Stanford had a name for it. The method is simple. Inhale deeply through your nose, then take one more short sip of air right on top of it. Then exhale slowly, fully, through your mouth. And this is a breath you've known since the day you were born. Picture a child who's cried themselves out, finally settling. That hitching, hic, hic, and then one long ha before they drift off to sleep. That's not random. That's the body running its own built-in recalibration program. Deep in your lungs sit roughly 500 million tiny air sacs, alveoli. Under sustained stress, as your breathing goes shallow and quick, some of them quietly collapse, and your lungs keep broadcasting that imbalance up to the brain. The second inhale, that little sip, reinflates them. And the long exhale that follows carries one message down the vagus nerve to your heart. It's safe now. A slow, extended exhale is deeply tied to your autonomic nervous system. It smooths the variability in your heartbeat and guides the whole body toward calm. What ancient people called life, we are only now beginning to describe in the language of neuroscience. I'll tell you something, plainly. I spent 25 years studying exactly this: how the body repairs itself without ever being asked. I could stand at a whiteboard and diagram every step of what I just described. And I would still sit through my own meetings, chest tight, breathing high and shallow, and never once think to open the door I'd spent my life studying. Knowing the mechanism didn't change me. Permission did. So if you're feeling a little worn down today, give yourself 5 minutes. Inhale deeply through your nose for 3 seconds. One more sip of air for 1 second. Then exhale through your mouth for 6 seconds. Slow, thin, until there's nothing left. And repeat for 5 minutes. You don't need to add anything. You don't need to become anyone new. You're simply remembering something your body already had, something you did instinctively as a crying child, and giving yourself permission as an adult to do it again. Thousands of years ago, people had no data, no laboratories. All they had was the ability to watch their own breath. And it was enough. They already knew this doorway by name, that breathing was never only for staying alive. It's a door back to yourself. And this is only one door. Your body runs dozens of these quiet programs, small, built-in resets you've been slowly taught to override for years. But you can start tonight with one breath. Your body has known you longer than you've known yourself. Just once today, breathe in deep and let it all the way out. Rewire your brain. Change your life. This was Dr. Yoshi. I'll see you at the next door.